Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has begun a two-nation tour while first heading to France and then to the United States of America. During his two-day visit to France, PM Modi is also to hold a bilateral meeting to discuss defense, space and civil nuclear cooperation. Building on the close bonhomie shared, French President Macron will also host a special dinner at the Élysée Palace. This will be attended by CEOs from the tech sector and other distinguished guests. The bilateral segment of Prime Minister Modi's visit will provide an opportunity to review the progress on 2047 Horizon roadmap for India-France strategic partnership along with Macron. Modi will also visit the historic French city of Marseille to inaugurate the first Indian consulate in France and also visit the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor project in which India is a member of the consortium of partner countries including France to harness energy for global good. Well, joining us now live at this point is Ambassador Pradeep Kapoor, former diplomat. We also have Surinder Singh Lali, international affairs expert, live with us. Pavas Piyush, AI expert, is also joining us now live. Major General Sudhakarji, defense expert, also joins the broadcast. Appreciate all of you being with us live today. Ambassador Pradeep Kapoor, let me quickly begin with you first. What does this say of the India-France relationship? The fact that Prime Minister Modi has been invited to co-chair this very, very important and crucial AI summit along with Emmanuel Macron. Do you believe that India and France ties will only get closer through this visit, and in which aspects?
Thank you very much, Uday. I think India-France relations go back a very long way. And as working in France in the Indian embassy in the mid-90s, and I saw the depth and extent of our relations, and the interest of France and India has been there not for just after independence, but it has been in India for thousands of years, and it has been very sort of appreciative of India's culture and India's history and India's traditions and India's background. There is deep and profound respect for Indian cultural art forms, for Indian dance. So even in the Indian Republic Day parade, the French contingent has participated. Science and technology, we have had very close associations. So PM's visit to France at this juncture, I think, is a very important landmark because earlier we had also signed the International Solar Alliance in France during the UNFCCC, the COP meeting, where India and France were co-chairs of that entire meeting. So now for the AI Council to be launched on the global platform and it to be done in France with the Prime Minister of India there, I think it's a very great milestone, and it'll further enhance our relations. We'll have another consulate. During my times of working in the Embassy of India in Paris, we had one embassy, there's no consulate. So now to have another consulate within the mainland of France, within Europe, because we had some consulates in Reunion Island and elsewhere, but this will be another consulate inside the country of France. So I think that will be a very major achievement also to have nuclear agreements. Also, we have had them with France earlier, but to further intensify and diversify them will be useful. We have also been sourcing a lot of our advanced defense equipment from France for a long time. The Rafale jets, as everybody knows, we have got them from France, the Exocet missiles. So France has been a very valuable partner in so many spheres. And with this visit of the PM now happening at a crucial juncture where there is a new administration in US and PM is going to be going to the US after this. But before going to the US to have a in-depth interaction with Macron, because European-US ties will also be discussed in depth because those are also coming under some stress. So PM's role and all that will also be very important because PM has a very good rapport with the US president also and a very good connect with the French president. Back to you, Uday.
Absolutely. Surinder Singh Lali, quickly bringing you in here on, of course, the defense aspect of this visit as well. Now, we're learning that possibly more Rafales and Scorpene submarines could also be discussed with France. That could also be something that could be announced during this visit as well. Is that something you're expecting, and how big a push will our defense cooperation get through Prime Minister Modi's visit?
Thank you, Uday. And as Ambassador Kapoor in a very elaborate manner explained our ties with France, and I've personally been in and out of France for the last 20 years doing business. And let me tell you, in the basis of my experience, if any country after the United Kingdom, and obviously since we were their colony, has a natural liking for design and color sense, France being the designing capital of the world, and India has been their first choice in terms of color and designing. It intrigues them, right from the Kama Sutra to meditation. So we've been with France. We have very close ties. But with this one, I find this specific visit of the Prime Minister, and especially as a co-chair, shows the world the new, powerful, important partner that India can be, new and emerging technologies. Because this Paris visit was probably going to help India create the global framework, and especially as compared to the one in England before this, what I find uniquely different about this Paris one is that it's a very large table. I mean, it's the government, private sector, and the civil society all on one table. And thus far, it's the United States and China who've been leading the show. And United States is purely profit based, for which I'm not going to waste any more energy. And China, with the state control and the trust deficit, I think India is very uniquely placed in creating its space in terms of creating technologies in especially AI, which is affordable, accessible to the entire world, and especially us being a leader of the global south. So I feel that it's going to go a long way, and especially in education and healthcare. For example, cancer. I mean, with OpenAI, I mean, the early detection in terms of sharing environmental data, genetical data, nutrition data. So I feel, as much as we've been very strong with the defense and the Rafale and our army and everything, it's going to create a great space for India on the global platform in terms of exhibiting this new aspect of India, which is the AI, in which India will create a space for itself, which probably not many countries can afford to do, purely because of the intellectual capital that we, India, by natural ways, we means we have. So I find this extremely important.
Right. What makes, Pavas Piyush, this AI summit so important, so crucial for the world? And also, how big a moment is it for India to be co-chairing this summit? Also, Pavas Piyush, as far as, of course, now the aspect of AI, how big a push will platforms like this give the Indian AI advantage as well? Because this is something of the future, isn't it?
Thank you. So, yeah, as we all know that AI is the new electricity. So just as electricity revolutionized industries, AI is now reshaping work, life, and governance. So PM Modi's visit to France could be a great strategic move, as co-chairing the AI Action Summit with President Macron positions India as a key player in the AI governance. Now that we know that AI is moving beyond routine tasks to drive decision making, be it in healthcare, finance, or manufacturing, we need to thoroughly analyze the opportunities and risks associated with it. While AI can democratize expertise, challenges like job displacement, bias, and privacy concerns must be addressed. Biases that we see every day by maybe ChatGPT by OpenAI or DeepSeek by the Chinese startup. So there's a need for global governance now, and forums like the AI Summit are crucial in setting ethical and safety standards for AI's development. So PM Modi's visit is about more than diplomacy. It's about shaping the future of AI and ensuring India's leadership in tech. So at the end of the day, AI must empower and not replace. And the challenge now is to ensure that AI serves the humanity and not the other way around. Thank you there.
All right. Let me, in fact, also ask you then, Pavas Piyusha, because there will be a crucial meeting with CEOs of tech companies today as well, that a dinner, in fact, that Prime Minister Modi will be part of, where all these CEOs will be present. How important will this, pitch by India be to these CEOs, and how important is these tech collaborations for us going ahead?
I think this is crucially important now to kind of see that there is no sign of monopolistic market in this sector, because that could be really very dangerous when it comes to the application in the world. So when we see biases and privacy concern and That's where the tech CEOs and all the CEOs need to come together to kind of remain and sign an ethical deal where they kind of agree on some ethical standards and safety standards and collaborate together for a better world.
Major General Sudhakarji, in fact, as well, for his perspective now. Major General Sudhakarji, what all will be on the table when this bilateral happens, of course, between India and France? And also, as far as the overall visit of the Prime Minister is concerned, how important is the fact that also the historic French city of Marseille will now get the first Indian consulate in France? The Prime Minister will, in fact, be inaugurating that himself. Big moment for people-to-people ties, isn't it?
Yeah, good evening. Uday, if you allow me, I would like to address the last part first and the first part later. So let's see what is this big event going to take place. All the distinguished and esteemed co-panelists, they have covered very nicely. And particularly, I would compliment Piyush the way he has elaborated. I, as a man who's very honestly speaking, I am very, very non-technical. But however, being non-technical is the main driving force to make me go deeper into the 6G warfare. The 6G warfare, I have been going around without understanding anything. What is the meaning of 6G? And in that, the artificial intelligence actually comes into prominence. While talking to the IIT students or IIM students, PhD students, what comes to my mind is that the regulation is a big question mark today. Is the mankind today prepared to be replaced by the artificial intelligence? If answer definitely is no. So if it is no, then what is the fine balance that we have to achieve? So that balance itself, when we talk about, is highly challenging. And very rightly, Piyush used the expression monopolistic manipulation. Monopolistic manipulation is the biggest danger in AI. And third and most important thing, that is being a soldier, is scaring me when the battlefields are going to be strewn with artificial intelligence. Look at our northern border, what China is doing. China doesn't have enough of soldiers. It has started actually inducting artificially intelligent weapon platforms to come seek the target, engage the target, and get closer to the target and destroy the target. That is the huge danger which is coming into the battlefield. So is that the order going to be accepted by the disorder in the today's geopolitical churn? I don't think so. So therefore, there are bigger things that we need to sit down, and rightfully, nobody better than our Honorable Prime Minister to co-chair the meeting and to bring about the credibility, a kind of a reliability, and also to bring about a kind of a status of, I would say, a stability in the whole process, so that we get going ahead together. 100-odd members. It's a big summit taking place. Third year down the line. It started 2 years back. Now this is the third one. I'm sure in times ahead we'll be able to have a globally accepted regulating authority which will formulate the do's and don'ts and how much we can go up to in artificial intelligence and where should we stop. Unless that happens, I'm afraid, whether it is DeepSeek in China today or the OpenAI or the ChatGPT tomorrow, you and me are soon going to be replaced by the artificial intelligence. The mankind may become extinct, which is a very dangerous thing. Now coming to the bilateral, Uday, that you have asked me to comment on. It's a very, very important meeting. We all know what is happening to G104414. The criticality of Indian security apparatus, as per my understanding, are the engines. It is the aerospace engine, aircraft engines, which are the need of the hour. We need to secure a deal at the earliest. Yes, Rafale is important. Scorpene is also important. But much more than behind the scene, what is important for the leadership, if I may have to extend my recommendation, it is the Safran engine that we need to focus on and get the transfer of technology to India at the earliest so that we start our research and development in a co-developmental mode. One. Number two, when we talk about the time-bound induction of the aircrafts, the Rafale and the Scorpene, if it doesn't happen, it is creating a huge imbalance in the security formidability of our defense. So therefore, we need to get them at the earliest. And third and most importantly, the nuclear energy, which Honorable Ambassador has very rightly brought out, and Laliji also has brought out very nicely. Last point that I wish to cover is the 2047, the horizon roadmap of India. We need to collaborate in times ahead in 21st century, there are no better countries than France and India to get together, put a head together, like Lali brought out one significant point, that if it is there, one country for France to choose,
Right.
be it the designing aspect or be it the R&D, then it would prefer India by all standards and norms. So therefore, this is an opportunity.
Point taken.
We must recognize our effort and
All
get
right.
going ahead.
My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.